Alright, so I didn't really do any check-ins of the build since yesterday, so um, this is the first leg I mostly completed. It's actually pretty solid. The second one here, you can see a lot of the sprue goo, and it's not quite dry, that's why I haven't pushed it all together, but I wanted to get some stuff figured out, so I went ahead and assembled it. Also, went ahead and started building out some of the armor on the forearms, along with adding the front claw bits there. I threw the neck shroud on there just for appearance sake, and then I think I might just stick with the minimized shoulders. I don't really want the big, like, lobster claw shoulders on there. So I think ultimately I'm happy with how this is coming out. I'm thinking that the butt skirt, which will be here, will be where the Dainslief is mounted, not to the actual back. I don't know. I'm still thinking about if I'm going to have it connected to its reactor or have a whole separate reactor just for it. Not too sure yet, but it's coming along very nicely. And definitely has a gorilla feel, so I kind of wanted to build out the forearms a little bit more. But then again, it's going to have two big shields to help protect itself. They're going to be like mounted here. And I think I'm going to mount them to here as a main pivot point, and then have a like connection point here so it can like direct them where it needs to. Um, but I just need some good sized shields. But you can see here how it poses. It actually looks pretty crazy, not gonna lie. It's already coming out a little bit better than I expected. And the way that it moves and stuff is really cool. I'm also going to change up the chest a little bit when I get there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but build something out. And I have tons of armor. That's one thing I was telling Thomas. So, like, this is a calf cover where the thrusters go. So I can cut that down, use it for, like, some forearm armor. I'm thinking something right through here just to cover the back of this, bulk it out a little bit. I've also got some extra ankle covers. I've got a lot of stuff that I can carve down without even getting into plug plate and stuff like that. But so far, so good. I haven't even gotten to the Dainslief part yet, but the leg engineering has worked out really well. It's a little unfortunate that that is pointing the way it is, although I think I can get away with using that as a way to help connect it. So I'm going to use the butt skirt, but then trim it down because the butt skirt's actually really huge. So the butt skirt is like this. So if I connect that there, but I'm going to trim off the side, so just use it like a platform. But then I can use a like stand connector just to help like reinforce everything, so it's all connected to the hips. I like the idea that it's connected more to the hips than the back, so that there's more of the weight is over the back legs and stuff like that. So that'll be something I do. But that's how he looks like right now. Alright guys, so before I went to bed last night, I went ahead and I mocked this guy up. Now I don't have this leg 100%, I need to get it fully together. But you can see here I mocked up the backpack for the Dainsliefs, and it works out pretty good. Basically a GRAZE torso with some bits cut off, and then Dainsliefs attached to each side. Now I talked about originally I'm going to mirror the Dainsliefs. I gotta remember which way is the proper way up. I'm thinking the flat side should be the one facing down, cause, well, it's meant to be a left side shot, so I guess that is technically the correct. The right side is wrong, but it kind of, it kind of works out the way I want, even in crawling mode. But I'm thinking about going ahead and completing them, or at least building them out entirely, so I can see exactly what I'm working with. And that is just sticky tack to the to the back skirt, basically. And I'm still wondering if I'm going to connect the reactor itself to this one, because it is its own reactor. So, I mean, I can just do what I want to that. And part of me, because it's not going to be like really mocked up to be a GRAZE, I'm going to trim off all the excess and probably close some stuff off. But part of me was thinking that I could, in theory, run the connector bits, these up there somewhere, but I don't have that cut off that actual that front part of the reactors. So there's that. But so far, it's actually looking pretty decent. But I forgot that they mount the way they do, and I have not added on like the huge rear section and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, so I did a quick assembly of one of the Dainsliefs, and I quickly realized that this is the handle extension, so I don't really need this. So I'm probably going to leave this out and then cover up the hole there. But one thing I want to do is I want to make these mirrored. They were never meant to be mirrored. So they have the ball peg that sticks out right there. So in theory, I can cut that out and then add it to the other side. So the sides are mirrored. It's just that the ball peg generally is not. I'm not entirely certain how I'm going to do this just yet, because the other thing I'll have to do is cover that hole with something, and maybe that's what I'll do with the handle covers. So it's going to be, which way is it going to be? All right, so this is going to be the left side, because I decided I wanted the flat side facing down. So like this for a little bit of clearance. The flat side facing down. So what I can do is, since I have to basically slice this out, I'm going to get a new blade. Try to cut that as flush as I can. I wonder if I can just cut it out. Oh, I can just cut it out from the inside. Look. Yeah, so I can just remove that. Yeah, I can just cut it out that way. And then on the other side, I'm going to have to basically commit the same type of surgery, cut out that same type of hole, or just make a flat spot, and then mount it to the other side about as good as I can. And then I'll cover that hole. Maybe I'll just grind down this whole area flat as I can, and then cover it with the flip out handle part. Like just turn that into a detail. Something like that. Basically, I just want to cover that up. And you could say, well, why don't you just flip it? Because then it actually looks weird. Because then they're like this. And nobody likes that. Believe me, I know. So I tried, back when I first built the regular Dainslief GRAZEs, I tried to do that. And like just slap one on either side. And yeah, it just looks weird, to be totally honest. The other thing I discovered, or at least thought of, so I got this whole bit here. So this is a torso of a GRAZE, and I've removed a lot of parts that normally stick out the front. And even the little pipe that usually runs under there to clearance. And I want to attach it to the butt skirt of this big guy. Also something I think I left. That is one big problem with these kits, is the lack of tension there. So, well, that doesn't help me. So the butt skirt, I actually cleared the sides here, ground those off, because they weren't clearing the new, more ridiculous legs. So I'm not gonna lie, these look really cool now. Like adding that extra joint looks really cool. One issue I still have is it's just an overall design issue with this kit. The ball joints for the feet are super, they're not encapsulating enough of the ball joint. They slip off super easy. So I think whenever I paint it, I'm gonna have to add that extra layer in there to make that thicker. Now it does give it a little more chickeny feet. It no longer has the front bit here, which is fine with me. But the thing is, I have more of those ankle armors, like those right there. But I'm thinking, I can just glue them back here. Put them on the back side. Just give it a little more depth there. And these parts here, they usually contain the lift-off thrusters. I don't know if I'll leave those or put them in at this point. But what I was trying to say before I dropped everything a second ago, I still have the adapter from a normal GRAZE. In fact, I have tons of them, to be totally honest with you, that I can maybe, I don't know what that was, I can attach this to the inside of this guy. So like right here. Oh my god, that almost fits perfectly on the inside. No joke, look. That cradles inside that gap. Wow, that's a total accident. I totally didn't know that could fit there. If that works, I can just clearance the round bit, because where I had it, it was literally just sitting like this. Like, it's actually being cradled by the butt skirt, if I'm on, but that's a little far back. So if I push it up to here, therefore it's clearancing the legs a bit, still pointing to the sky. Kind of need the whole mobile suit here. Everybody shit. Okay. So let's see here. You want to stand up tall for me, buddy? Okay, so if he's standing effectively straight up there. Okay, so let me see how this works. I'm gonna cut these pegs off because they're not useful. They'll just be in the way. And I have way more of these. Sorry, I was also doing this. I can't really. It's about as good as I can do it. Alright, so this uses these two little tabs right here to be like a carrier. And I wanted a way to attach it to the butt skirt in general. I got that upside down. So now that is plugged in, you know, just perfectly right there. So let's see how I can attach that to that guy and still clearance everything. Okay, so that almost works. Almost works. Okay, so if I grind that down more, I can get that inside that hole and can really plug that up in there. See, the thing is, I need the clearance for the arms like that. Also, that's standing up so high now, it's kind of ridiculous. So I had it much further down, so that's interesting. Still toying with the idea of flipping the Dainslief generator over. You know what? I have an apron that I'm not using. I think I should go get that for this purpose. Kind of getting tired of dropping stuff. Okay, so let me put this here. Okay, so if I flip it, it's now vertical, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It kind of makes it a target. It's sort of just out in the open, you know? So if I use that, if I grind down the edges of that, make it flatter or make it fit in the gap. Because I had it here. Oh, that worked too. Just glue it right to the front of that. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That sits it way back here. But I don't need the drum to be like that. So let's fix this. Okay. And also, I still need the original neck hole, because I still have a plan for that, so I'm going to leave that where it is. I might sand this flat. Okay, so if I do that number, what happens? Okay, so he's still running into the legs, so he would have a particular height that he can and can't do. Because if it sits flat, then that's gonna really mess with me. But I could totally get that there. See, the problem is it's hitting the back legs. Yeah, I prefer to miss the back legs. If I tilt it too far forward, it's not going to do the job I need it to do. So let's see here. Let's extend the legs a little. Just straighten them out a little bit more. Still sort of squatting, but less so. I wonder if that makes a difference. Okay, let's get Dainslief off of there for the time being, so to work with less. Okay, so that matches the angle right there. It would still function for the most part. And that is almost exactly, yeah, that's almost exactly how I had it sitting. Ah, it's the tiniest gap. Okay. So let me clearance this just a little bit. Okay. That might have helped. I think that got me right where I wanted to go, perhaps. Okay, hold on. I need a file here. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm sanding where that skirt will contact that. Literally just kind of open that up just a little. The other thing is, so I cut off, well, it's not really an accident, I just didn't think about it. So the long white power connectors that usually go from the reactor or from the thing up normally would go right there, but I cut those off. So if nothing else, this might just be a test piece and I don't use this 100% for this purpose. Okay, so I don't know if clearancing that did me any good. Doesn't look like it. I mean, I can still get there, but it's not as pretty. Okay, let me remove these bits, make my life a little bit easier. Now I gotta bust out the knife. Knife! Because the whole bottom half of this honestly doesn't matter that much to me. So, I mean, I could always box it out or do something after I get it done. Because all this is just sort of dangling out the bottom. So whether or not it's there, who cares? Okay, so let's see that again. Getting closer. Getting a lot closer. A little bit more, I think, just to clearance that. And I'm using my like half round file for this. Also, let me make sure this is flat. It's like, that'll also kind of help to make sure that this part is flat. Okay. Test it again. So I can get that up to there. Oh, see, now I'm hitting back here. So I was clearancing it to get all the way up to there, but I did not realize I was hitting. You know what? This works just like this. I can set it up a little higher in the gap. And see, the other thing I was thinking is I could run those power pipes up to there, in theory. Yeah, so that's actually resting in a nice spot. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to go get today was cement. Damn. Okay. So I'm going to try to glue that in place, like as it is. And make sure that this is all flat as I can get it. A flat file. Okay, so which part is actually connecting? Normally this is like the cockpit area of the GRAZE. But not in this GRAZE. Not in this GRAZE. Okay. Let's see what I don't want to do is accidentally get that stuck somewhere it doesn't go. So this, oh yeah, that's pretty brutal. Right there. So it's carrying right on that spot, right there. Okay. Oops, I did not put that glue in the right spot. I was watching myself do it, and I'm like, is that right? Okay. Oh well. I'll glue there. Ain't gonna hurt nobody, I don't think. Right there. Bingo. Bingo bungo. So in theory, that's my Dainslief connection. That's pretty well centered. Can make adjustments for changing things here in a bit. Give that a minute to sit there and think about what it's done or something. So yeah, this is like I said, this is the weird position, but I'm thinking like I can still get the power wires up. I mean, it's a little weird, so I don't know, maybe that was that what I wanted, because now I'm questioning it. I think it's what I wanted, because if not, I wanted it to be tilted further back, but then once again that pushes this up against the legs. Oh shit, don't do that. Don't do that. And I just proved that problem right there. Still good? Still good? Okay, still good. Now what I'm worried about is that it won't, or that it'll get glued in place and not to the thing I want it to be glued to. I think that's good. That's a good mechanical connection. Oh, yeah, I might have to clearance the arms. I might have to clearance shoulders a little bit. But one thing is, I'm not using the, I'm not going to be using the shoulder armor that usually goes around the thing. Speaking of which, I need to put those on this guy. See, I'm just going to wait for that to solidify a bit more. It's always the hard part, is waiting for something to dry. At least it's not like super glue dry times. You know, but there's also no kicker for this, so I can't just like hit it with some stuff and have it be good to go like instantly. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the upper torso off for a second. Okay, so that's just something I have to be aware of when I do that. The other option is down the line, before I completely solidify this. So this part will be as it is. But what I can always do is maybe come in here and chop these a little bit and actually turn this up. So the way these plug in, I just leave that as it is, cut off, you know, a good section at an angle, change the actual angle of this, make it straighter. So I like the idea that it kind of dangles under it a little bit. Where is that white cable part? Okay, I don't need this anymore. It's not for that particular time being. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the white ribbon cable-y thing here. So this normally plugs up in under here. So what might be interesting is that I could, it's on the wrong side, I could just run this up underneath there and not actually connect it to anything. That'd be funny. It's like, yeah, it's not connected to anything. It just goes up under the butt. Why not? I think I did that on a different GRAZE. Okay, so the next thing will be this part. While I let this kind of solidify. Okay, so I was trying to remove the entire piece, and in doing so I accidentally snapped it off. So now I have a very flush cut piece. That was an accident. So what I was just doing is basically eyeballing where it's supposed to go on this side, and I've got it roughly in the area, and then I need to finish marking that off, and I'm just going to basically grind that area flat for the most part. Okay, so the hard part is they're not equal height. There are better ways to do this, but I mean, this is just kind of eyeballing it. Okay, and also there, it doesn't help that there's slightly different details on this side. Okay, so this would go slightly past the center line. Oh, wait, I didn't get this correct. I started this way too low on this side. Is that what I did? Yeah, I did. Okay. This is way over here. Okay, so I want this to be on this side. Roughly here. But I got this totally wrong. Okay, so this actually, I had to go into the outside. I needed it to go to the inside. Let's see here. Is that about right? Just past the outside. Okay, so yeah, now I'm not going to drill all the way through, hopefully. At least that's not the goal. The goal is not to go all the way through. Okay, so that's roughly there. That actually, that's pretty good. I mean, I only need to flatten it out. I'm going to end up filling in the hole anyways. So what I need is the complete side here, so I can see roughly how high that needs to be. Let me. I'm really getting tired of dropping things. I need to do that apron thing. Okay. Actually, the thing is that sits almost flat to the top. So what I might do is grind out that square and then build it up with plate, because it sits almost flush to the top of the dome here, if not actually just under flush. So if I grind that down flat, and then I can build up that as a square, and then I can do the same thing on this side, just fill in the gaps with some plate, make it a little thicker. But that'll give me something to glue this guy to. So what I need is to switch this out. That's roughly what I need. Hold on. Let's see. There might be something smaller. Where did I move that to? Okay. Is there a grindy thing that I can use? It'll work out better. I could use one of these guys. I mean, they're made for polishing, but it might work in this case. Let's see. Okay. It'll either work or it won't, so just want to go slow here. Because if nothing else, I just need to grind down just this part. It's working. Although I need to lower that a little. I don't like the torque I'm putting on it. Okay. Alright, I'm going to jump ahead here.